Hey, how's it going, you guys? Getting ready to do a quick walkthrough on the current meta for high ticket offers as it stands for the info products in 2026. Should be a really quick one. Just getting ready to get right into it, and I'm going to start doing a lot more of these videos as it relates to the offer, the back end operations, content, things of that nature. So really looking forward to doing more of these. Let's get right into it. All right, so currently as it stands for like when we boil it all down to the bare bones and bare basics of offers as it relates to the info product business, online coaching, online education, consulting, etc. The current, two ways you can really offer those products is one, either in low ticket or two in high ticket, right? It's quite obvious, right? Everyone knows this. Low ticket has been kind of like the main meta for the past number of years. And then high ticket has become a bit more prominent now. But when I say that it's become more prominent, this is stating the obvious, right? But within the high ticket being more prominent, it's actually changed a bit, right? You can't just do high ticket, one-on-one coaching, more info dumping, and more product and feature dumping, right? You need to actually offer when you do high ticket, you need to actually be offering high ticket plus done for you, and maybe also you can add some one-on-ones in there, which typically they do come with one-on-ones or one-to-many, depending on the nature of the online coach or creator and how much attention they have, how much status they have, etc. So why is low ticket, obviously we kind of let's dive a bit into why low ticket obviously isn't working and why it's kind of dying down. We can give some quick examples of that, right? Low ticket information products have lost value with market sophistication. So people know that if they sign up for a $30 a month or even 97 up to $20 a month product, they're going to get that information. But in today's day and age, everyone's scrolling reels, everyone's attention span is quite low, so they're never really going to get the full value out of the product. Typically, most people are lazy, right? And most people want things done for them. And so they're never really going to get the value out of the product. And then in turn, they're not going to really have high satisfaction. And they're going to end up either, trying to get a refund, reporting you online, saying that they didn't really get the value out of there, etc. Right? And so obviously the nature of low products are going to be courses, video modules, PDFs, and access to quote unquote secret knowledge. And typically the pricing ranges from anywhere to 20 to up to $100 per month, or, $100 to $200 for a one-time payment. Platforms that are going to be on typically will be on School, Discord. Obviously, honorable mention is WAP as well. Obviously, this is what they look like. They can be on various numbers of topics, right? Hobbies, music, money, spirituality, tech, etc. And so typically what's included in those group calls is going to be, or typically what's included in those products is going to be weekly group calls, courses and consumables. And then obviously if it is MRR, they're going to continue to try to update that low ticket program continuously. And so typically, or why the value of those has really, really, really plummeted, and the value of high ticket with, special high ticket now, the most current up-to-date meta of high ticket is getting more pedestalized, is because the advent of AI, right? ChatGPT cannot provide all the knowledge you instantly at your fingertips. So really, it's not a knowledge game anymore. It's really an infrastructure game and a done-for-you game, and we're going to touch on that here in a second. So let's go ahead and go to high ticket, right? So obviously, high ticket offers can range anywhere from $5K starting entry level. Some $3,000 offers, I would consider those still low ticket in a sense, but $5 to $6K is going to be like your new barrier to entry, right, for high ticket. Typically, the best way to do this now is going to be some sort of done for you implementation, and we're going to touch on some specific examples here in a second. Direct one-on-one support, and you're selling outcomes, not information, right? So what does that mean? You don't get access to all this secret knowledge or secret information, because you can just have any AI products go and scrape the web or go and scrape YouTube videos and just give you that information. You're selling the actual outcome. So you're selling the infrastructure, you're selling the back-end operations, the marketing, the team members, the tools, the talent, some specific use case, some specific tool that once placed into a business and once placed into an online offer is going to generate them an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month. And so that's the actual meta of high ticket now. It's not trying to sell it as a program still that's buffed up. It's just basically low ticket, but repackaged and made to look really pretty, right? And so what are people actually paying for today? And so what they're actually paying for is someone to build it for them, right? That done for you access. Because people don't have it. People that are spending money on high ticket offers, either it's their entire savings, they want to get a really good result, they want to get started, or they're really paying for speed. And for speed, they're not going to want to do the product offering or what you're promising themselves. They want that aspect done for them. They want something built for them. They want someone to guide them on top of the infrastructure that you've placed into their business. They want some sort of accountability to hold them to it as well. And they want faster execution. And that's what we were just talking about earlier, which is going to be that speed. And then they want a clear path to an outcome, right? Typically with the lower ticket and with modern day or like kind of the older high ticket programs that are starting to get phased out as we move into this new meta, typically, you're going to be given those course modules or weekly group calls. But outside of that weekly group call, you're kind of at the whim of your own motivation and discipline. And in today's day and age, most people, I would argue 90% of people don't have the proper self-discipline to get the most amount of value out of a high-ticket program that they could possibly get, right? That's why they're really paying for implementation. They're really paying for something to be built for them. They're really paying for that outcome, not for that information and for their hands to be held. And so as we move on now, the new standard offer, obviously, it's going to be a 5 to 6K minimum. And you see these with a lot of offers here. For example, like my own sister went through Shelby Sapp's program. 5K minimum is her entry level, right? And also, typically what you're going to see now, and you see this with a lot of products, my own sister's even done Shelby Sapp's program. A lot of these entry-level programs or these high-ticket offers that include all of this stuff are going to be at the 5 to 6K minimums, right? Obviously, if a creator, online coach, consultant, etc., has a well-developed program, team built around them, brand, and also like their product offering is very extensive. Like they have different levels and tiers for you to scale up. They're going to have more on the back end, but typically the new entry level now is going to be that 5 to 6K minimum, and it's going to include a done for you aspect in that implementation we were speaking about, building the actual offer with you, setting up the back-end systems for you, the actual implementation, the one-on-one access on top of that as well, and then direct access to the expert, whether that be a one-on-one group coaching calls, whether that be their WhatsApp, whether that be hopping on Zoom with an actual group, and then strategy calls as well that are specific to your needs and to your use case and what use cases you need. And then also, obviously, I just touched on that already, the personalized guidance. And you see that with all of these creators over and over again. The market is really shifting to this new standard offer. So you can't charge 5, 6K and just think, hey, you get access to weekly group calls, you get all of my information, and you get maybe one or two like freebies. You need to actually implement something. You need to have that done for you aspect. And so why does this have more pricing power, right? You can even increase the pricing of this high ticket offer if you're including all these things versus your competitors. And so you're no longer selling that information. You are selling, hey, you're not saying, hey, here's the information. You're selling, here's how you get X result. I will help you get X result. I will help you install these systems into your business to generate you that extra new revenue, right? And what they end up receiving is the offer creation, the back-end setup, the implementation, a few months of support, and access to calls when needed. If you shift your offer to this new product offering, you're going to outperform and you're going to outsell a lot of your competitors within your same niche that are selling high tickets that aren't as quote unquote meta, right? And so, for example of these that are going to be offering all these different tools, we have Inner Circle, which is going to be Jeremy Lee Miner's 7th level product offering there, and then you also have, for example, you have Closers.io, and so yeah, let's skip on to the next piece here, right? Why can it work? The highest value is delivered up front. And so they're buying that implementation right at the front. So they automatically receive that tangible item right in front that once you have this optimized within your SOPs, like your standard operating procedures, you have the team members in place, and you can really plug and play these different systems, this different implementation, these different done for you aspects into businesses. They automatically get the value up front. So it's not like they're going to be, a month in or 2 months in, they feel unsatisfied because they haven't seen any progress because their own self-discipline and their own motivation prevented them from getting the actual value out of it. You provide that value up front, and then everything on top that you normally provide, like the one-on-one, the one-on-one access, the strategy calls, the personalized guidance, like that's just a cherry on top because they've already paid for your service. They've already paid for that implementation. And so that is the new meta as it relates to high ticket offers. And so I'm going to be doing a ton more. I'm going to be making more videos and more in-depth strategies and optimizations for high-ticket offers, for scaling info product businesses, for scaling online coaching, for scaling online education, and all the various niches and all the various biz op niches. And so I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos as it relates to scaling high ticket offers, scaling biz op offers, scaling info product businesses for online coaches and creators, and as it relates to the actual offer, how you set up standard operating procedures so that you can install and plug and play these implementations into businesses. And I'm just really fascinated by how optimizing and tweaking different things in the business and implementing strategies and implementing these tangible assets will increase the monthly revenue of said business, right? And so super excited about dropping more videos as it relates to this. And I appreciate you guys watching. Look out for more videos. I'm going to really be touching on all the other different aspects of the new offer or of the new high ticket offer meta, which include what sort of done for you offerings to kind of implement. How do you actually build the offer so it's set up in a way that you can keep plugging and playing that, how to set up those back-end systems, implementation, one-on-one, etc. Right? So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Again, my name is Cordell, and let's keep going.